Hi students, it's Mrs. Burkhart. Now it's time to have some fun. I'm going to show you how to speed up, slow down, reverse, and overlay footage that you have downloaded from my Dropbox link. I just dragged the footage into my project area here, so I have all the clips ready to go. And I actually started putting things together, and I'll show you what I have so far. If you want to look, I have this expanded, so now my program monitor is quite small, but let's go ahead and just watch in the upper right what I have been doing. So you can see overlay, lots of different clips, etc. Cool. Now, oops, let's go back to the beginning. One thing you're going to notice is that I have 3 layers, and I've also done something where I have expanded the view, and that's because if you can see all these little keyframes that I've added, I'm now fading in and fading out using the pen tool and these keyframes, and it gives you a lot of flexibility on how you're entering and exiting when you're doing some of this fancy overlay and speed up, slow down stuff. So to expand the view, all you have to do is click that little triangle. Now it looks like what we've had in the past. If you click here, now you have the expanded view. I'm going to go over to where it's ending, over about here, and I'm going to drag another clip onto video track 2. So I have this bike. If I go back, all I did was click on it and enter it into the source monitor, and if I play it, it's a nice clip of this guy riding along. I don't want the whole thing though. I already know that I'm going to make the beginning the end point, so I've clicked I, and then I want it about 7 seconds, because here if we go farther it changes viewpoint, and I kind of want to end about here. When the tire, let's just say about there. So I've shortened it a little teeny bit, and I'm going to drag it down and put it right there. Now this one has been fading out, and the way that we can add that to this one next to it so it fades in is you go over to the pen tool, and if you can't see it, just click. I can raise this up perhaps a little bit. There's the pen tool. I'm going to add a marker there and here, and then if I go back to the first one, I can just pull it down. The cool thing is that these are actually movable, so you can have your fade in, etc., change over time. The other thing I'm going to do is go down to the bottom where this was fading out, and I'm going to bring that up so it doesn't totally fade out. Cool. I'm probably going to have to put something else underneath because I want it to blend into it. If we just click here, if I go to the selection tool and click here and then move the playhead, there it is. Actually, let's make our view a little smaller so I don't have to keep scrolling back and forth. There we go. And I'm going to put it over here and scroll. You can see that once it is opaque, you don't see anything underneath it. Here, we've affected the opacity, how see-through it is, and as it fades in, now we've got it. Now, something kind of fun to do, let's cut a chunk out. With the razor blade, we'll just click right on that spot, and then we'll move the playhead along a little farther, and I'm going to cut it again. In the middle, maybe we want to reverse it and then have it go forward. How cool would that be? So I'm going to hover over the one that I want to select and then select it. And now you go up, and you can't see it. It's out of the window for my tutorial, but you go to Clip, Speed Duration, and then let's reverse the speed. I could also slow it up or speed it down. Let's also speed it up. I'm going to add 50% and watch what happens in the timeline. Oh, and you don't see it. Let's go back in. Let's move this over. Oh, there. Let's go back here. Clip, speed duration, reverse speed. Let's go back to 100%. There, and it's not there. It made it smaller. So by going to 50%, we went to slow motion. So if I'm going to just leave it right like that and move this one back next to it. And then if we scrub it, see him go backwards and now he's going forwards. You're going to want to be editing this to the beat. So you can do cool things as that's going backwards or as it's changing color, etc. Let's go in here now and click on bike. We don't have a lot underneath. Let's see if we are, I cut it so I don't think we can expand it. Nope, but let's go into bike. And now we're going to go up to the top and click on the effects controls. And this is where all the fun is for overlays. Twirl down opacity. We're not going to mess with opacity here because we're going to play with it right in the timeline. But the blend mode, because there's something underneath it, right there, let's go to lighten. And we have to move this over to see. Now you're getting a combination of the two. And you can just keep clicking. Overlay will give you a different result. I happen to think difference is pretty crazy. So let's just leave it at difference for right now. We're also getting the red line. So to play what you have, you need to go to sequence and then go to render effects in the work area. Render entire work area isn't selected because we haven't really changed anything. We just have effects that need rendering. So I'm going to pause. I just didn't want you to have to wait while it rendered. Now I can play this little crazy part. Get rid of that email. And watch when the playhead goes over this bike. It's going back and now forward. Not the most effective. I would change that if it was mine. But you can see that you have a lot of flexibility. You can fade in, fade out, reverse, and overlay. Have fun and make sure that when you're editing, you have an audio track down below and you're making your edits according to the music so that it goes along a little bit to the beat, as they say. So anyways, good luck, and I look forward to seeing your trials.